My name is Elise. I'm 22 years old. I live with my step-parents. My mother left me the day I was born, and my father died when I was 5. I run a bakery. My grandfather opened it for me when I was 17, but he died 2 years ago. He was the only person who ever cared for me. Life with my step-parents is very hard. They are cruel to me. My stepmother beats me for the smallest things. Sometimes it is only because the tea is not hot enough, or the floor is not clean. I never feel safe at home. One evening, I came back from the bakery. I was tired, but I hoped to rest. Instead, I found my stepmother and stepfather waiting for me. Their faces looked cold. "You will get married in 2 weeks," my stepmother said. "The same day as your stepsister." I looked at her in shock. "To whom? Why so soon?" I asked. Her hand hit my face before I could even breathe. "Don't ask questions," she shouted. "It will be as I say." My cheek burned, but the pain in my heart was worse. I ran to my small room and cried all night. I cried until my pillow was wet, and I felt like there was no hope left. A few days later, I heard my stepfather speaking with a man in the yard. I stood behind the door and listened. My heart almost stopped when I understood. He was selling me. Selling me to a man almost twice my age. He wanted money to grow his business, and I was the price. Days turned into weeks, and the wedding day came closer and closer. Each morning I woke up with fear. Each night I went to sleep with tears. And finally, the day of the marriage arrived. The day of the engagement came. My hands were shaking when they pushed me into the room. I expected to see an old man, someone with gray hair and a cruel smile. But when I lifted my eyes, I could not believe it. It was him. The man who had visited my bakery more than once. He was not old. He was young, handsome, and his eyes looked kind. I felt frozen. What was happening? Why him? He walked up to me calmly, and without a word, he took the ring and placed it on my finger. My heart beat so fast I thought I would faint. After the engagement ended, he leaned down, kissed my forehead, and gently took my hand. "Come with me," he said. Before I understood, he was leading me outside, where a private jet was waiting. I sat in silence as we flew across the clouds. My mind was full of questions. Who was this man? How could he be so rich? When we landed, he brought me to a big, beautiful house. It was like a palace, with shining floors, wide windows, and gardens full of flowers. Maids and cooks came to greet us. I had never seen such a place in my life. That night, I thought he would come to my room, like a husband on a wedding night. I was scared. My whole body was shaking. But instead, he gave me my own room. He said softly, "Rest, Elise. You are safe here." Days passed. My life changed. I no longer woke up with shouts and beatings. I ate food prepared by cooks. I wore clean clothes that maids brought me. But still, I was afraid. He was a stranger. Every time I looked at him, a thought came, what if he is like my stepmother? What if he hurts me too? But he never did. He never shouted, never hit me, never even raised his voice. And that confused me even more. He was always gentle with me. He never shouted, never forced me, never crossed any line. In the beginning, I stayed distant. I was afraid. But every day, he tried to come closer, not with force, but with kindness. When he came home from work, he hugged me like I was his world. When I was sad, he kissed my forehead and told me everything would be fine. Slowly, my heart began to change. One day, I dropped a dish by accident. The sound of it breaking made me freeze. My body remembered old pain. I closed my eyes and waited for the hit. But instead, I felt his hands on mine. "Don't touch it," he said softly. "You can cut your hand. I will clean it." My eyes filled with tears. Nobody had ever spoken to me like that. Another time, when I became sick, he rushed me to the hospital. He stayed beside me the whole night, holding my hand, not leaving me alone for a second. I felt safe, something I had never felt before. One morning, he surprised me with something I never imagined. A new bakery. "This is yours, Elise," he told me with a smile. My heart almost broke with happiness. One evening, I finally asked him the question that stayed in my mind: "Why did you marry me? You treat me with love every day, but why me?" He looked at me with deep eyes. "Because I loved you from the first day I saw you," he said. "When I came to your bakery, I knew I wanted you in my life." Months passed, and I realized something. I was in love with him too. His care, his gentleness, his patience, it all became part of me. And one night, for the first time, I reached for him. He held me close, and our first night as true husband and wife was full of soft touches, quiet laughter, and powerful feelings I had never known. From that day, we lived together in happiness. I never thought that the marriage I was forced into would give me the love I always dreamed of. But it did. And finally, I was free. Free in his love.